This is why your podcast is getting its butt kicked. This is a new series, and we're going to talk about title today. Title is an extremely important part of your podcast, obviously, and there's a lot of things that you're probably not thinking about that can add a lot of impact to your podcast and make or break it. Number one, safety net here. So few of you actually do a little research on your title before you actually use it. This honestly is the most frustrating step in starting a podcast, in my opinion, because you're going to Google a name and somebody's going to have already used it. And there's actually stories out there. I wish I could remember the name of the lady. She had a really popular podcast. She never double checked the name in the trademark. She made her podcast popular and she got sued. She was no longer able to use that name for her podcast anymore. Everything she had built was taken away. So number one, for a safety net, go out there, do some Googling. AI, by the way, cannot do this for you. It doesn't find the names of podcasts for some reason correctly. So look at your name, see if there's a podcast that exists about your name. Then go to the USTPO and look at trademarks. Now, I have to say here, you should hire a lawyer to do that, but not everybody can afford $1,000 or more for a trademark for a new podcast. So bare minimum, I want you to look, I want you to make sure that nobody has a trademark within the media space, the podcast space, anything that could be peripheral to your name of your podcast. And no, you can't just add the or something like that and have it work. I'm sorry, this is a whole video on its own, but number one, be safe here. Number two, you have to really deep think your target audience. So you shouldn't even be to the naming part of your podcast yet because you haven't deep thought your target audience. Because what's going to appeal to a 96-year-old woman and what's going to appeal to a 16-year-old man is completely different, right? So you have to take into an account that a name that is going to be appealing to your target audience. The next thing I learned from a great man named James Bond. He wrote a book called Brain Glue, and he talks a lot about the marketing power of a name. You ever heard of country pastries? No, right? They came out first. But guess who was more successful? With the same product, a company called Pop-Tarts. I can't remember the first name of the book, but it went nowhere. And then they renamed it to Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, and it skyrocketed. A blog called Mommy Needs Vodka. What I'm getting at here is if you deep think your title and think about your target audience, it can be worth millions of dollars in marketing. That curiosity click in a sea of Apple covers that's coming across the plate is invaluable. I call that storefront window. Storefront window is going to be your cover art, your title, your description, and then only then is when we get a chance to show somebody our content. Be clever here, and this can be millions of dollars of marketing value. Thanks for watching our video on how not to get your butt kicked. Stay tuned for how not to get your podcast butt kicked in branding, which is our next video. We're coming at you live and edited after the fact from Backlot Studios here in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. Also AZ Pod Studio and Business Radio X. You might want to pay attention because we hold free seminars and get-togethers constantly for our local podcasters and YouTubers. Stay tuned.